Oh no!
Oh my!
Would you tremble?
Guys, I'm recording for this. This is the new
If
video
I
intro.
touch your lips.
So for you guys that don't know, we were filming
Would
the
you
intro
laugh?
3 times.
Oh, please tell me this.
Hold on.
Or would you die for the one
I
you
forgot to click
love?
record one time. I recorded another time with no audio. And we were getting ready to go into Manny and Woozy's segment, and all of a sudden, this bearded slob appeared on our camera.
Would you save my soul tonight? I thought you were going to bed.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Take number 3. We got to capitalize on the momentum here. Take number 3.
Lucky 3.
Lucky number 3. First Super Show. Sand was MIA. Now he's here. He's not in the bathroom. He's in his living room. We're combining all content into one place for this week. So now we've got 5 goddamn people on. Hopefully it's not 5 times as long. Production value is going to be at an all-time high. But my power rankings aren't in their own individual video this week. And there's going to be editing this week, luckily. So I have a new format. You can see it top right of your screen. All 5 of us submitted our own individual power rankings, and then we added them together. The goal was to be lower, so 1 point on somebody's power ranking was equal to 1 point. Last place, being 16, was equal to 16 points. Manny had a perfect
116 times 5. Somebody do the math quick.
Manny had a perfect 5 points, so he was in first place. Dress Down had 50.
Surely no one had 16 times 5.
Yeah, Brett was at 80. He had a perfect bracket. He was dead last. We'll get to that in a second.
Perfect bracket.
So Dress Down was in second with 15. Hughes had 21. Copy was in fourth with 23 points. Bladle fifth with 25 points. Thomas 28 points. Don was all over the road. I had him like 11th. I think Nick had him like 4th. He was 38 points. Woozy, similar, was kind of like a scale, high on some lists, low on some, 41 points. Stein and Sand tied 10th and 11th place, 51 points. Drew, 12th place, super consistent, 59 points. Braves, 13th place, 64 points. Dolphin, 14 on everybody's list, 70 points. Beast, 73 points, 15th place. And dead last with a perfect 80 points. Last place, every bracket, the Burnt Toast. I'm gonna check this film right away. Hopefully, this went through. Be back in a second.
Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on, didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property. Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I
this.
The Woo here. So part of the show, we're bringing you the game of the week for week 2. So these for this week are gonna be Circle versus Bladle versus Braves and Devico versus Copies. Honorable man Stein versus So honorable mention, I gotta say it was a fun match to watch up until the end. Stein pulled off grass not counter tech that really kind of saved him the game. Sandy wasn't really Terra, so winners win, losers lose. Honorable mention, it was overall a fun game, so we'll bring it up at least in an honorable mention. So for third place, we're gonna go with Circle versus Woozy. The Circle man brought the heat week. No one expected a turtle to wreak havoc on a whole team, and it did. Solar Beam Tech.
I'll take the blame because I'm your teacher. I'll take the blame. All right. I didn't think about
Solar Beam Tech is obvious but not obvious, and it's also gutsy. But I'd give it to him, and he really took it over the top when Terra parried his Torkoal and kind of stood his ground.
You weren't expecting the Torkoal.
Overall fun match. Always love playing Circle. He out me, and he why the Torkoal is not just a setup weather mod. He definitely can come in and play.
That's why Manny had 30 points in the last league.
It's crazy. So that's gonna gain third place. Circle versus Woo. I'll go with Bladle versus Braves. So this was a fun match all in all. I think everyone was expecting a different outcome of the match, like a more leaning towards Bladle, kind of overtaking, kind of 6-0, 5-0, but it was a fun match to watch. It's competitive. Lazy Braves is no longer Lazy Braves. He's coming out hot. He's putting in prep for his teams, and
that's a new nickname now. His new nickname is Crazy Braves. That's his new nickname, guys.
Crazy Braves brought Charge Beam, Flutterbane, Draining Kiss, and Ultimate the Blissey, and could have wreaked havoc if it weren't for some Thunderwave fanatics there. So fun match. Curious to see how Braves continues on in the rest of the season. I'm rooting for you, Braves. Crazy Braves. Should prove the haters wrong. Second place goes to Bladle versus Braves.
Alright, the winner for week 2 matchup of the week is Copy versus Inner Warrior. I'll keep this very brief. Copy did an excellent job at walling Inner Warrior's threats. That Dragon Knight was completely walled by Crocalor. Would have thought, right? I think he completely forgot about Unaware. I think Crocalor and Amoongus are the top threats in terms
MVP.
of the MVPs. Amoongus finished the job perfectly, did what he had to do. He came in. There was a couple of times where, he stayed in on. I forgot who he put to sleep with a spore, but he came in, wasted a turn forward, should have been critical. The match could have turned right there, but he switched in. Luckily, Inner Warrior stayed asleep, and Copy finished off the game. He's 2-0. And yeah, we didn't expect him to beat Inner Warrior at all. He was the underdog, and Warrior.
Watch, and I think Copy's showing why he's ahead.
Being the last pick in the draft, I think he's doing pretty good. I think we could all agree on that. He's proven himself.
time I was scared of it all, scared to fall, and hadn't even tried to crawl, but I was forced to run, with you mocking me, stopping me, backstabbing me constantly, remembering all the times you fought with me, watch the clock now chock full of hypocrisy, but now your mouth wishes it could inhale every single little thing you said to make things fail, every single one you sputter just to get your piece, but it really doesn't matter to me, cause
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got the best for so much less. You really flip your lid. From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz! I don't want to grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
All right, our first game of the week is going to be known as the Kids Table Classic. These two have been bickering like children in the Discord all week. It's Copy versus Beast. You lose. I heard you have a good angle on this one.
There's no angle. It's the only outcome that's going to come out. I'm seeing a hot 5-0 victory from Copy versus Beast this week. I have a lot of the same criticism on Beast's team that I had in the entire week. He doesn't have the firepower to handle breaking through a lot of this team. Lucas Vaporeon, Tank Sylveon, Iron Tread, way too bulky, and return a lot of damage to do really anything for the team. And I didn't even name Garchomp, which I am right now. Copy's team is way too sound and way too good. Beast's team is not. Plus, also, I think there's a slight skill difference as well. I think it's going to go 5-0, and it's not even close.
Anybody else got a similar opinion?
I'll take it. So I really agree with Air Chomp here. I have Copy before all. I think it's out of his mind right now. I don't think Beast is ready. I think it's gonna be a 5-0. I think it's gonna be a 4-0. I think Gyarados gonna take the game straight up. He's just gonna win. Just gonna outplay him in every single banner, and he's just gonna win. 4-0.
Lose, how do you
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to see Gyarados just run through this team. Like, those one dance, it's. I mean, I was looking at both teams. I know we're talking skill gap, and Copy definitely takes the cake in that aspect. However, Beast's team is significantly faster than Copy's team.
Yeah.
So speed team doesn't make or break games, but it's definitely something worth noting, and it's going to be interesting to see how Copy can make up in the speed and work around that. But I think ultimately it's just too many threats to handle. And all the Beast Mons are just kind of they're frail. Cinderace is going to go down after one waterfall or earthquake. Gengar is not going to survive an earthquake after a Dragon Dance Gyarados or Iron Treads. It's just too many threats. I got Copy winning 4-0, possibly even 5-0.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to go last, I've got the blueprint for the broken clock. So a broken clock is right, like 2 times a day? One of the biggest upsets we ever saw, Beast beat Stein. Maybe Stein beat himself, but Beast was still the winner. So I did a deep dive into this game. I've got the blueprint for Beast to win. It's not going to be by much. But Sandy Shocks, it's going to be a Mon he's not going to be able to go into until mid-game. He needs to come with an air balloon. And that's mainly because Garchomp and Iron Treads are on the field. Both are going to be able to outspeed. But Sandy Shocks, he's not going to know the set initially. And that set is going to have Terra Ice on it.
Yeah.
So for me, you bring this in, you protect with the air balloon. The Garchomp can't OHKO you with the Earthquake. Similarly, the Iron Treads can't. It's not ideal against Iron Treads, but you're still going to be able to hit it with Stab. So this Mon, I think, is going to get at least equal value, potentially better value. I've got Umbreon coming for bulk, max defense. Gengar is going to come here, also at Terra Ice, to potentially OHKO the Garchomp. Focus Blast can OHKO the Iron Treads, even with the Focus Sash. And as long as Iron Treads isn't scarfed, it'll outspeed. Flamigo, this Flamigo set is fucking bananas, but I ran the calcs, and it works. So when you see Flamigo, you almost always think Scarf. However, I don't like to play a lot of Scarfers scarfed if it's going to be super obvious. So you give Flamigo max HP, max attack, and you put an AV on it, and somehow it almost 1v1 beats the majority of Copy's team. Then we go to Cinderace. Focus Sash also with Terra Ice. Everything on this team other than like Umbreon and the last Pokemon has Terra Ice. It's just like when Garchomp comes in, it's dying. Like even if it's the tank variant, like you're catching a 4x species. So Cinderace, Focus Sash, Terra Ice. Now, keep Tatsugiri at home. I don't really like that thing, but you got something on your roster that can do similar job a little bit better. So I like Talonflame in this meta, fast utility. So Gale Wings will give you priority for a Brave Bird if you really need it. But you also are going to be able to slap a Defog on this thing. So please keep Tatsugiri at home. Now Copy, he has a pathway to victory. Obviously, he should be the favorite with how good of a player he is and just having a better team. So Garchomp, Scarf goes crazy here. Woozy brought up a great point. Team lacks speed, but slap a Scarf on Garchomp, you get that speed back, and of course it still hits super strong. But it needs the Scarf mainly to outspeed Cinderace and Gengar. Neither want to take an Earthquake. Iron Tread, same thing. Utilize that Earthquake stab and outspeed Cinderace and Gengar with the Scarf. Now I get to a couple of interesting sets. I know you guys liked the Armarouge set I recommended last week. A little bit of a different one. I like Weakness Policy Endure. So Endure ensures you stay alive. You can kind of take a predictable, super effective move, get off your Weakness Policy, and then with Weak Armor, you also get that speed. So as long as you're not going against the Mon with priority, it's a great way to ensure setup. My Vaporeon set, nobody's ever seen it. So there's a new move called Fake Tears, which lowers special defense by 2. In like a Copy versus Drew game, this would be like play of the week. But I think, now Copy's not going to bring it, but it would be cool if he did. But put that in your bag of tricks. I know that Copy watches the videos every week, similar to Alex, but Alex never made adjustments. I know Copy does. Then Gyarados. You guys all kind of brought up that Gyarados has a really good matchup here. I think so too. I like it with an Assault Vest and Intimidate. So whether it's a physical or the thing's just going to be able to take hits with an Assault Vest. Amoonguss has a lot of durability, and I like it with a Rocky Helmet, and it kind of pairs well with the Assault Vest Gyarados. The whole entire key to this game is Beast has to dictate tempo. So we're going to know if he's pulling the upset off within the first 5 turns. If Beast can hit him with a Sucker Punch, and not the move, with like a punch to the gut right away, I'll be in his ear saying like, giving him some of that coaching, and don't be too surprised if there is an upset.
Who's Shadow Ball from Fluttermane?
Fluttermane?
Fluttermane.
That's the wrong game. That's on Crazy Braves' team.
Oh, my bad. I mix up the games.
Right, and now, see this machine here?
Yeah.
Now, essentially what it does is it takes all the trouble of slicing bread and getting crumbs all over the kitchen side.
No hand knives needed?
No sharp knives, no. So,
incredible.
Viewers, you can throw away your bread knives, you can throw away your bread balls. Just one of these in the corner of the kitchen is all you need. Now, are we watching me press the thick slice here? Because, you know, I like a thick slice.
So that means it's going to cut it thick?
Now, this machine now, if you watch...
Well, oh yeah, it's looking good already. It's really looking good.
Hang on, we seem to have a malfunction with
right.
our engineer Maria would like to take it.
That salesman job you used.
Yes, no, get out of it, you.
Right. That's it, it's ready.
It's so quick you can't even see it now. You take that out, that's sliced.
You try again. Right. Oh,
right, this is it.
There we
this
go.
Is it. Right, that's it. Yeah, we just need our German engineer to take things into their own hands.
Cool dear. Oh. Wow.
Now look at that. Pretty soon you'll be able to get rid of it.
What size the butter going on?
The thick.
Go.
All right, guys. This next matchup, we got Bread versus Stein. Not surprising. Another week where Bread just has a horrible matchup. I mean, if you're team outside of maybe Bladle set, Bread doesn't really have much firepower, and if you're looking at Stein, he has a really good defensive core, but I think this week it's gonna shine ever brighter. You have Corbinite setting up and can just wreak havoc on Bread's team. You can set up body press, whatever you got to do, set up with Corbinite, you're taking the game. I also have Baby Stein bringing a special palm up set in. I think it has Volt Absorb. I'm mistaken. You can completely wall road them and just not let it have its way and just kind of run away with the game if you run like a bulk up setup set with that. Stein actually also wins the speed tier matchup. Wins it significantly as well. So honestly, I don't see Bread taking this. I think Stein keeps his momentum and he wins the match 5-0.
Alright, so the way I look at this is, I think Greninja was overkill. So, I think the addition of Greninja is just too much for Bread. I think Bread has to bring Chansey, 100%. I think Ward on Mosh has a really good matchup here against Corbinite, Greninja, and Palmont, because I don't think Palmont wants to take a Will-O-Wisp plus Hydro Pump, assuming it is physical, right? I know Woozy mentioned the special set, but I think Stein could cross that. If he does bring the Quagsire, I think he can stop set up the potential from Bread, from the Baxcalibur. I know Baxcalibur, I like to set up a lot with Baxcalibur and Gallade. He might surprise us and bring Float. He could bring Rain here. That's something we always have to think about. But I have Stein winning 4-0. I think this isn't close at all. I have Stein winning 4-0 and
All right, what do you got?
You want me to go first? All right.
First.
So, all right, I got. This is a little bit of a hot take, a little bit of an upset. I have Brett coming out of this set if he plays it well. I see a path to victory here that I would take, revolving solely around Rotom Wash. Like Manny said, Will-O-Wisp definitely pretty much cripples Palmont to the ground. What I would personally do is I would put a choice back on the Rotom Wash, and then go. Not really anything on this team wants to take the Hydro Pump. I really, really, really doubt Quagsire is coming to this matchup with Masquerada and Gallade there. The grass coverage. Either that or it's pretty much free spec Volt switches, which does a lot of damage to pretty much everything on this team outside of Palmont. I calculate Palmont, it's still 3 KO. Nothing is no recovery. Also, you use the rest on it, which would seem like a waste. You can't even hit this off. So there's no point. I think this it is winnable, but barely. It's going to be a lot of pivots. It's going to be a lot of sacking, but I think the Rotom can definitely be the MVP of the game. If you spec Modest, you have to go special attack Modest. Probably have to be to hit. But yeah, I got 1-0 bread.
You done?
I'll take.
Done being crazy?
Not crazy if you're good enough.
All right, everybody. I know you guys can't see, but for the audience at home, direct your attention to this screen right now. What do you see? You see no fucking graphics for Brett. And this is pretty much how Brett shows up week in and week out. He's not prepared. He just fucking wings it. And then after he gets his ass beat, he'll say things like, well, it's a good thing I only lost 5-0. Like, it can get any worse. So I'm just really disappointed in this guy. Every week, he gets more and more toasted. He's got a smile on his face the entire time, like nothing's wrong. And that's great. That's great. I mean, it seems to appear that he's making an effort. So we saw that last year. Lazy Braves. Literally, I posted all of his sets like week 4 or 5, and he wrote it out the rest of the year with the same sets. Didn't give a shit. We got into Brett's ear. He at least cares enough that he confirmed 2 weeks ago, because he was so gung-ho, he had to lose on the first day. He's been building for like 10 days for Stein. Now, you already seen a piece of bread get sliced every other direction in a supermarket in Germany just now. That's pretty much what this is going to be like. I'll break it down. So Woozy and I were in agreement that Corviknight is going to be a fucking sweeper here with body press. So don't let that defense get in motion, because Brett, you don't have the tools to stop it. Then Screamtail is going to come max defense with the utility set. Greninja, great addition. Specs to give it a little bit of that oomph. Iron Moth, try it out with booster energy. I kind of want to see how that works. I mean, everything's going to look fantastic against Bread, but fuck it, run it. Pawmot, you guys were talking about Pawmot. I think it plays here Scarfed, and then the Dunsparce max defense. Bread, I don't know if you give a shit about what I'm saying. I actually seen some angles that I'm not going to say are going to beat Stein. Maybe if somebody else got behind the sticks, they could beat Stein with this. But, yeah, no confidence in what I've seen. But Bax Caliber, holy shit, man. There's not much other than Corviknight and Screamtail that want to step in the ring with Bax Caliber. So Dragon Dance with EQ and Glaive Rush, that's going to sweep most options. Just like I said, get Screamtail and Corviknight out of the way. You go into Bax Caliber, game might be over. Gallade, don't try my blunder policy. You're not me. Don't run my blunder policy set. Stick with agility. I think that's more training wheels level. Now, this next one, I just said, fuck it. I'm like, if you can just get even value, bring it. So Drifblim has a move called Destiny Bond. You get even value if you could pull that off. Okay? Like, you know, if you've ever fished before, you know, you take that dead piece of bait, you throw it in the water, and then throw Drifblim in the water, and if you have a nice enough presentation and Stein takes the bait, you will get an even return. which is a lot better than what you've had so far. You've got 1 kill through 2 weeks. So this would match your tally. Dragalge, 6 special defense. Let's add to it. AV. Rotom Wash. Keep it going. Stein's got mostly a special attacking team. Put some special defense on that Rotom Wash. And then I know you love bringing Ditto, but when you play Ditto, you get ADHD and you go into Ditto every 5 seconds. Cut down on the Ditto usage, my guy, but bring it. All in all, if you follow my steps, you might lose 3-0. However, it's not going to happen. You're going to show up with some Jack in the Box all over the fucking roadmap. You're going to lose 5-0. And the 1 kill will be Driftblim Destiny Bond, bringing your season kill total to 2. Only lost 5-0.
I'm really hungry all of a sudden. You want some Burger King?
Yeah, I'll take some onion rings.
Hey, this tastes like shit. You guys make money off of this?
They're very popular, sir. A lot of people care about the environment and sustainability.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, this seriously tastes like dog shit, and you get people to buy it? Wait a minute. Plant-based. 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 Oh my God.
All right, next up, we've got a heated rivalry game. This is going to be Sand versus Circle. These two are battling for control of the mid-card. But you just seen a video just now with Randy trashing on the Impossible Burger. Now, the Impossible Whopper, same shit. I kind of like the Impossible meat, but there's a downside. So if you eat too many Impossible Burgers, I think they've done studies on this. There's a lot of estrogen in Impossible meat. I think Sand is all over that shit. He's been typing in the chat, oh, my girlfriend's vegetarian. He's eating all his fake meat. So if you've noticed that Sand is he's sporting a rack these days. That's pretty much what happens when you eat too much Impossible. So there's a lot at stake here. One is a consumer, one's a pitcher, one's a catcher of this Impossible product. So I gotta say though, I think Sand is gonna be catching a beatdown this week. Circle, I really like Jolteon in this matchup, especially with Specs. It's already got the speed. I loved Torkoal. Torkoal was a rock star last week. I think Lilligant's going to come with Chlorophyll and Wide Lens and really boost Torkoal's claim for MVP in this league. Chi-Yu, Blacephalon 2.0, maybe even better. I think it is better. Scarf, Slitherwing. Slitherwing's coming banded, hits like a freight train. First impression, great priority move. I've said all that though, but the real reason why Sand is gonna lose is Salamence. So you don't need to bring Intimidate. All you need is Dragon Dance, Moxie, and take a look. Hold on, let me speak English for a second. Take a look at Sandy's roster. He doesn't have a single fairy type. Salamence has my favorite move, Outrage. He's just gonna fucking anvil this guy into the ground. So it's gonna come in mid-game, and once conditions are set, there's nothing that's gonna stop Salamence. Not only that, he has Fairy Terra. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to touch this Salamence. Sand's going to try and build around it. It's just, his team's kind of top heavy. He thought he made like the pick of the draft with Knuckle Stack. okay, dude, you didn't need to take Knackle Stack as your 6th Mon. Like, it's an NFE Mon. It's not Murkrow, it's Knackle Stack. So he's going to bring Palafin, Banded, Bulky Quiver Dance, Iron Hands. Iron Hands is probably his like best Mon, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think you can play Iron Hands wrong. You can play Palafin wrong if you don't click Jet Punch when you obviously need to click Jet Punch. But Iron Hands with AV, it gets that Metal effect. Nothing's going to kill it with Oko. And it's going to just punch like a freight train. Lincoln Rock Dusk, bring it with a Sash that helped win you a game week 1. Bombardier, Scarf, you know how to use that set. And then if you really want to get cute, bring Knackle Stack, Max Defense, and a Femon, 100 Defense, and that's only boosted by an Eviolite. Still going to lose 3-0 to Salaman Sweep. Manny, how do you got this one?
So I have Circle winning this. I have him winning this 3-0. I agree with you. I think he needs to bring Jolteon here. I think Jolteon really goes in. Although I think Iron Hands with an AV could stop it. Maybe a Toll Scroll bring with an AV. Although he needs Spore for some of his mons. I think Salamence really goes in. I think Blue Ink goes in on the Toll Scroll and Toros. Palafin, I don't know if he should bring it because he really gets outsped by Chi. Chi just fucking destroys it. First impression Choice Band Slithering just fucking goes crazy here. I think he needs to bring Unburden, Gungshot, Grafaiite to do anything. I think that could really throw off Circle's game. Remember, he does have Riverloom and Gardevoir now, as well as Frostmoth, so he could also bring against Frostmoth. I don't know if Frostmoth gets any flying moves, but that could work against the Tauros and the Toadstool, as well as the Iron Hands and the Volcarona. That's the past here. Overall, I think he brings Sun. I don't see him not bringing Sun. He has to bring Chi, Torkoal. Salamence comes here. Jolteon is a must because of Palafin. And then I can see maybe the Red Room or the Frostmoth. I think our ability against Pride by Volcarona and Iron Hands, really. But I have Circle winning 3-0. What do you think, Woozy?
So kind of to your point, I think I do have Circle winning not 3-0 but 2-0. I think it is a kind of a close at the end. Has to bring Sun, not only to kind of like aid his team and kind of taking him over the top over Sand, but I think the Sun is going to limit Palafin and his move sets, or at least his Water Stab, to a certain extent. I know you can only limit Palafin so much, but I think Sun does a great job at that. To lose, I think Salamence goes in. I say throw a band on it, just hit things. Nothing's going to, if you put a band on it. You can also Dragon Dance, but if you don't want to set up, you definitely could. I think Eric support is crucial against Sand's team with the Prankster Rat running around. Like a Toxic or even his other mons, T-Wave, throw T-Wave in there. I think Cleric support is going to be crucial here if he brings Gardevoir. I think Volcarona can actually put in work here in the Sun. If it can set up here easily and the Sun's out, be careful with those Fiery Dances.
Terragrass as well. He has a Terragrass.
Terragrass, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So I think Volcarona can play a huge part in this weather. If Sand preps around that, I can kind of throw Circle off the game. 2-0.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have a little bit different take from you guys. I got Sand winning this game 1-0, but I think this game is going to be really, really, really tight. Woozy, like you said, I think Volcarona can definitely abuse Sand so much so to his favor that it's possible that he could just run away with a sweep. I was telling Nick to bring Substitute last week for his matchup. I'm telling him again, bring Substitute for this matchup. It works really well. Or Lumberry. Volcarona does not want to get crippled. I don't see Circle really setting up the hazards necessary to annoy Volcarona enough to do damage. Also, I think Palafin does really, really well in this matchup. I know you guys said obviously the Sun is going to be out. A lot of Pokemon learn Rain Dance. It's like not that difficult to, turn the tides for the Sun. And Rain Dance really, really cripples a lot Circle's team. Even what happened?
Prankster Rain Dance as well.
Sure, Prankster Rain Dance works. That definitely totally works. I just ran a really quick calc. In the sun, a banded Palafin has a roll to Oko GU with Chip. So I don't think the speed tier matters too much for that, which is kind of bizarre to even consider that. With that said, I think it's going to be really, really close. Palafin, Volcarona being the win cons for Nick, and obviously even Slitherwings being the win cons. I think, like you guys said, those kind of does really, really hard here. The only thing is I don't think it hits Toad's Cruel that hard. But everything else, free reign, free hits. 1-0 Sand.
Hot take.
Shut the fuck up, Frank! Shut the fuck up! Let's go! Fucking Christ, I've been sitting here for 9 innings with you! They're the best team right now in the league! Oh, they lose one fucking game!
They've lost 400! They've lost 5 out of the last 6! They're falling apart! The Braves never lose!
Alright, next up we have Braves versus Air Chomp. I think this isn't a surprise to anyone. I have Air Chomp winning this 4-0. The reason I have it 4-0 is because he has a flutter main. I mean, you know, flutter main after all. I have Braves bringing the rain team. I think he has to bring everyone. I think he has to bring Pelipper this week. Please bring Pelipper, okay? If you're gonna bring rain, your rain support, bring your rain setter. Bring Pelipper. I think you need to bring Mudsdale for the Annihilate. Flutterman is a must. Prelume is a must. So bring your rain. Make sure you're hitting him hard, and you know, just you need a way to stop these screens from occurring, because that's what's gonna keep you lose from, you know, staying alive in this game and getting the win after all against Braves. I have who's bringing Annihilate, Tinglu, Grimmsnarl from the screen. He needs to bring Rodon, because Rodon, although it is a fire type, he needs the Volt Switch option. The Volt Switch option is amazing. If Mudsdale's gone, he doesn't really like. I guess he does have the Raichu for the what's the
lightning rod.
Lightning rod. Okay, that's fine. You can work around that. But I think you do need Rodon Heat. Veluza is a winning option. Venomoth could be a surprise. But I do think the top 3 are a must. I don't know about Wolchain. Halucha, I'm not too sure about, but I do have you lose winning 4-0. I don't even think it's close, dude. I think the skill level is just too far apart. What do you think, Air Chomp?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I would tend to agree with you. I'm looking at this matchup, and really the only terrifying Pokemon for my team is Fluttermane. That thing's very frail. That thing can go down with one hit. I'm not too afraid of it, especially with some new tech that might be coming out this week. Who knows? I'm not going to reveal too much, but yeah, I think if he plays around Fluttermane, he may be able to lower it down. But really, nothing else is threatening the team. I'm not going to lie, even the rain, I'm not too afraid of. Hoping to see he brings out some interesting sets to make it close. I still have me winning, though. I would agree 4-0.
Okay, so I'm really going to pin it on one thing that you lose just said. Said new tech. This means not lazy, not stagnant, fresh, new. To me, I'm going to spell it out for our guy, Crazy Braves. He just evolved. Previously lazy, now he's crazy. To me, it would be crazy if these two things didn't come. Venomoth is fucking sneaky at 7 points, but it plays. So Quiver Dance, it's usually commonly seen with Focus Sash. Once this thing gets going though, it's gonna take a team effort to bring down and tackle this Mon. So if you're not prepared for this, Braves, it could be coast to coast. I think you're going to prep for it, at least minimally. So I have that coming. Annihilate's going to come. It needs that Grimmsnarl screen support. It doesn't need it, but that's where it gets its most value. So Similarly, Ting Lu, very bulky. The deep dive I want to do, though, Rotom Heat needs to come, similar to what Manny was saying. He needs a slow pivot. But Hawlucha, holy shit, guys. Hawlucha is gonna close the lid on this game. I would really like to see Sky Attack come with a Power Herb this week. I don't know if we're gonna see White Herb instead, but Sky Attack would be fucking sick. Braves, here's what you can do to kind of try and minimize the damage. So Flutter Mane with some booster energy just so that you get that special attack, but you can click different moves. Breloom, bring that historic Focus Sash Spore set. Iron Thorns, same thing. Like, let's see some booster energy magic. Now, Manny brought up a great point. You need that Pelipper. What's it doing on your roster if you're not going to bring it with a rain team? Last week would have been phenomenal against a ground type. So bring Pelipper, Damp Rock, Barraskewda. You need to really play off of that. That's my personal favorite pick of the Green Sweepers. Then you did a great job week 1 of using Bisharp with the Eviolite, partnered with the Terra Bug. All in all, I think it's going to be an interesting game, way better than the Braves of old. But I have you lose winning a 3-0 game after a Hawlucha Sky Attack sweep. Woozy, I'm going to air it out to you. I heard you have quite the take on this game.
I would say quite a take. I'm looking at it from a different angle. I think Crazy Braves this season is gonna shock some heads.
He already has.
Tables. I think he's scratching the surface. I'm riding the wave with Crazy Braves this season. He's come out and kind of shown, he's trying to make strides in his prep game and just bring different sets. So the team and the rosters, Air Chomp has a crazy bulky team. Paired with greens, it's just like impossible to get over. So essential to your victory this week, Braves, is your rain team. Mentioned Pelipper needs to come. Pelipper needs to provide that rain support, and your abusers need to come in and just do its job. You can kind of destroy or take down Air Chomp's walls. I think Flutterman can come in and just take the game. Have it being a crazy victory. However, I do see Braves taking it 1-0 and an upset victory against the league's heavy contenders. So, again, if you can get rid of the walls, Flutter be your ace here and kind of just take over. On the flip side, though, if he does bring rain, I think Veluza is a great bring on Air Chomp's side. Like he used week 1, Dragon Terra. He doesn't have Dragon Terra anymore. However, he can still try to make it work. Veluza come in and really counter, the rain on Braves. So that's something to look out for. Let's see, Braves. I hope you prove me right.
If you would have said Braves over Air Chomp 1-0 last year, I would have said preposterous. But that's the Crazy Braves effect. He was pacing Bladle last week, and then he just got so hung up on a choice scarf.
Oh.
He's going to be in it. It's going to be like a horse race, though. We're really going to see if he has the pedigree. Braves is going to try and go to the lead. Is he going to die, though? Or is he going to have the pedigree and pull through the stretch? I think he's going to fade, but I think it's going to be long enough that we're going to have somewhat of a race.
I think this week really determines whether Braves really could make a stride for playoffs this season. This week is going to determine. If he can do something against Air Chomp, I think he has a chance at playoffs.
Right, to come out of this 2-1 with 2 impressive wins. Totally agree.
Yeah.
And a close, even in his loss, a close game with Bladle and, an entertaining one at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the driver's seat the entire way. He controlled his destiny there. there wasn't much Bladle could do. Bladle was making controlled sacks, and it was just thinking that it was Scarf. But good on Bladle's part. He was able to sell it with that muscle band.
Yeah.
You lose. You got any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, looking forward to my week 4 match versus Dress Down. I think that's going to be a fun one. Wait.
Okay.
Here in front of Applebee's right now, it's one of the best days in the world because they have $1 Long Island's. Delicious.
All right. Next matchup, we got Inner Warrior versus Drew. I just played Drew last week. Pretty competent competitor. Looking at the teams, though, I don't think he really has many answers for the Scizor, and obviously I don't think anyone has answers for the Dragonite. Looking pretty rough. I think Inner Warrior has pretty clear matchup here, and with his 1 billion preps per week, I think he also has the experience going into this team. One thing I think I have Drew as like a potential win con is slow keeping, setting up the snow and pivoting into the Titan for a potential belly drum sweep. The only thing that could potentially hinder it is Scizor. I think that's fairly obvious, but once that's out of the way, I think the Titan could do a lot of work. But it's still really hard though. You got to get rid of the Scizor, which is no easy feat in itself, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I have Inner Warrior going 3-0. Drew, I'd love for you to prove me wrong, but not sure about this one.
So I have a bit of an angle. I think if Drew does this, he can follow exactly what Air Chomp just said. So this Scizor banded is a no-brainer. I think all 4 of us have it coming banded. And we all kind of see it for Drew. He needs that pairing of Slow King and Titan. Get into Titan into belly drum using that defense boost in the snow. In order to do that, you basically have to force Inner Warrior to start. You have to bring that Scizor in to stop one of these 2 shell smash users. So it's Poltergeist and Cloyster. I have them both coming. So Poltergeist needs to come here because Inner Warrior's roster is just loaded with normal type of users. And that's how he drafted his team, built around the Terra Normal. And then it's also mostly physical. So being that it's mostly physical, as long as he brings Cloyster in against something other than Heracross, Lucario mainly, he'll be able to get his Shell Smash off and ideally wear down the team to the point that Scizor comes in and sets conditions for C-Titan. I don't think it's going to happen though. So other than C-Titan, Cloyster, Poltergeist, Slow King, I think Klefki needs to come to try and cripple potentially T-Wave. At a minimum, it can also come with Light Clay and start setting up screens. Give C-Titan even more of a bump, plus the snow. And then Roaring Moon needs to come. I've been pretty big on the Booster Energy train tonight, so throw the Booster Energy on it. And then for Inner Warrior, this guy's been in the lab. I've barely heard from him. I've heard more about Inner Warrior through Little Thomas this week than I have from him. So I know this dude he's not going to get outworked. He's probably prep game 81, probably just concluded. He's on 82 right now. And he's going to rely on his MVP, Dragonite. Don't put any talk into him saying he might get rid of Dragonite so that the spot throw doesn't go to the wrong team. Like, no. Dragonite's there to pair with Terra Normal until the end. Caesar's coming banded. Toxtricity, you're not going against a fast team. That thing's just going to come with specs and just make something pay when it switches in. Heracross coming with guts. Devico, don't play it like a moron this week. Just play the mons the way they're supposed to be played. Don't think too outside of the box. But if you want to think outside of the box, you seem to really like Clawitzer, and I think you've been getting great value out of it. So bring in specs here. And then Hatterene, bring it with that Healing Wish. Use it to revitalize your win con. But just preserve it this week, please. Maybe you'll win. All in all, I think he's going to control tempo coast to coast. Maybe one road bump in the entire match. 3-0 Inner Warrior win. What do the Miami guys have for this one?
Wait, hold on, guys. Before you go, Manny, sorry about that. I did a really quick calc. An Adamant Lucario with 0 special attack investment has like a... Let me see. It has a 88% chance to Oko Cloyster with Vacuum Wave. So, I mean, no investment. It's pretty much a guaranteed Oko unless he sashes the Cloyster. I mean, I don't think that's as free setup as you're saying.
That, he should bring it over Heracross. He doesn't even know how to play Heracross. He's like Manny in the final.
Hey, stop it. So I do see him bringing the Focus Sash on Cloyster. I think Drew needs to bring his three Mons and Cloyster, Poltegeist, and Satire. I think Satire needs to bring Belly Drum. I think Poltegeist needs to bring the Shell Smash, and Cloyster needs to bring Shell Smash. This is the only way you're going to beat Devico. I think Flareon needs to come back. I think the Flareon was very underrated last match with the Will-O-Wisp set. I think he brought Flare Blitz as well. I think Rotom Fan has to come here. Roaring Moon, of course. I agree with Lou. Roaring Moon has to come here with the booster energy. Of course, Slowking. If he brings the Klefki, please bring T-Wave. Bring T-Wave. T-Wave is going to stop the Dragonite. T-Wave is going to stop the Scizor. Of course, Devico has to keep Hatterene healthy. If Devico keeps Hatterene healthy, then he can't just be spreading out these status like he always does. I think Devico needs to bring his top 3 Dragonite, Scizor, Hatterene, of course. Toxtricity could bring Specs, Choice Scarf, Throat Spray, whatever you want. Don't bring Heracross. Bring Lucario. Bring what he just said right now. Fucking Vacuum Wave. Bring Vacuum Wave. I don't see him bringing Clawitzer. I think he had a bad matchup last week. Although Clawitzer, Choice by Clawitzer does go in. I don't think he brings it this week, so I have him bringing Dragonite, Scizor, Hatterene, Toxtricity, Lucario, and then in between Tyranitar and Frigirath. I do know he likes Frigirath a lot. As far as Drew goes, I see him bringing Roaring Moon, Slowking, and then his 3 abusers in Poseidon, Poltegeist, Cloyster, and then maybe Klefki or the Flareon. Flareon's mainly there for the Will-O-Wisp. I have Devico winning 3-0. It's pretty simple. His skill level is just through the roof against Drew, and that's it. What do you think, Uzi?
Oh, no.
You're muted, Woozy. You're muted.
Wooz, leave and then come back real quick. We'll cover for you. All right, so don't let Wooz know. Oh, he's already back. The hot stove. Wooz is he might be making a move tonight.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah,
you're good. Thank you for coming back.
Kind of just bring back. I don't think there's much else to say other than what's already been said. I think the prep work speaks for itself. Devico's already, like Lou mentioned, 100 games in prep right now.
Yeah.
82 games to be exact.
So we know he's done his due diligence on Drew's team. I do have win con for both team. I think win con for Drew is definitely the Klefki T-Wave abuse. Handicap, Inner Warriors threats, make sure they can't get their way. I do think a Roaring Moon set, maybe like a set, or like how you guys mentioned, a booster energy set can kind of put in work on handicapped Inner Warrior team. I did the calc and Roaring Moon Firefang Oko is a Scizor, so that's something to look for. I know it's not a common set to bring, but if worried about a choice banded U-turn or something that can really put in work on a Roy Moon, that's a good coverage move that can get rid of its threat immediately. So when for Inner Warrior, you're gonna have to overwhelm Drew and just put his threats to sleep out the game. I do have Inner Warrior winning 4-0. But again, just be aggressive, set up your mons, do what they're intended to do, and just overwhelm Drew. I think his roster doesn't have the roster to kind of bounce back from being overwhelmed from Inner Warrior's team. He can kind of fly away, get early momentum. I think Inner Warrior takes it.
I'll say this
Sorry,
about Drew.
I was gonna say, I think Drew, Inner Warrior's hyper offense is just too much for Drew to keep up with. I think it just overwhelms him, to be honest. So I agree with you, Woozy.
So last season, I brought Drew in as a replacement for Beast when Beast was like, you know, guys, I just don't have enough time to play Pokemon right now. Then he left our league, and then he joined like 5 other like lesser leagues. And honestly, he just couldn't hang. I had an opportunity to take over Beast's team this week, similarly. Turned it down. Now I'm like kind of like Beast's earpiece. Hopefully he listens to me. But to tie this all in, I don't think we've seen the best of Drew. Drew, when I seen him play on another Discord over about the period of half a year, he didn't just seem to be a playoff team. He seemed to be like a top 3, top 4 team in most of these leagues. Granted, the skill gap is a little bit different here.
Shifu strike, dude.
I know I destroyed him in that playoff game, but with Urshifu,
That
when
and
he had Urshifu, I won the Urshifu Bowl over there. But I just don't think we've seen the best of him. I think right now he kind of seems to be like his logo. He's like a piece of paper, a little bit like Lazy Braves. Like, this could be a statement. You've got last season's champion. He's already on a temper tantrum. He's literally dragging his brother through the mud, forcing him to play prep games. Drew. Does Drew have a win? I don't think Drew has a win, right?
He played Copy and then he played me.
He hasn't won yet.
If Drew doesn't win this week, this might be the team I have to take over. Could you see me running fucking this team, guys? Drew needs a win.
No.
He needs a win. Possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's see it.
Harder, Delphin in the factory or Lil Timmy with Inner Warrior?
That's a good point.
Good question. What we may have to look into.
I'm going to cut it there.
You can always spot that one kid who you just know is going to grow up to be a little bit more creative than others by the way he plays the game. And all the other little kids, they know something's up. They're like, you got to watch. When Benji plays, you got to watch. Watch. Sure enough, here comes Benji, right?
Dance, dance, revolution. Get ready.
I'm so ready.
Like, oh, it's on.
Select music. Ready, go.
This dude took off.
Guys, so in this next personally my matchup of the week, we have Dress Down versus it's going to be an exciting match. I think we have 2 heavy contenders, the king and the queen, going at it, so I think everyone's looking forward to this matchup. Looking at the rosters, I definitely see Bladle having to come in and use his creativity and kind of like around Dress Down's roster. Flying kind of limits, or not kind of, it really does limit Great Tusk to what it wants to do unless you're running Stone Edge, which is a gamble in and itself. outside of, you know, what he wants to do, I think Terraflying kind of just walls Ladle's roster. So I think Quattro here can actually shine again this week. I think Quattro has been showing a lot of people, you know, kind of underrated Mon. But I think in this matchup specifically, I think it can go in and kind of prove to everyone it's an underrated Mon, but it's definitely a Mon to look out for. I think Bronzong is also going to come in this week to provide some support. I think he's going to need it because you have King Gambit coming in. And that's gonna prove to be hard to deal with. But another that I think I have Bladle coming in with is a choice ban, a Zumaro. You know, I'm not sure if everyone watches Family Guy here, but I don't know if anyone has seen the skit where it's like the Asian lady driving. She's like, "I turn now. Good luck, everybody else." I think choice ban on this Zumaro. Good luck, everybody else. It can definitely wreak havoc on this team, and I think Bladle has a good amount of intimidate mons that can come in and limit King Gambit for what it wants to do. Arcanine is going to be a bring here if he can kind of pivot it in the right. Overall, I think I got Dancing the Dancing Queen 2-0.
Interesting take. I have pretty much the exact opposite. I'll give my take off the bat. I have Gina winning this 2-0, and I think I figured out her problems of trying to wall the Zumaro, and I think that's painfully obvious in the Slowbro. I would even consider a Rocky helmet on that thing. Zumaro doesn't want to touch that thing ever then. Slowbro also walls pretty much Great Tusk and Arcanine, and probably Hexus too. I didn't do the calcs, but I would imagine Hexus as well. The only two things it's really not afraid of, doesn't want to deal with is Zoroark and Kilowattrel, and I think that can be handled by an Assault Vest on King Gambit. So with that being said, yeah, if you AV the King Gambit, you have a pretty good wall or coverage for a lot of what Bladle's trying to do. I'm not sure. He has Intimidate Mons. Her main win con is Iron Bundle. It's pretty much everything on this team. I don't see him trying to burn or intimidate because, you know, Iron Bundle doesn't really get impacted that much from it. That's why I have Stein winning 2-0, and I don't really see a really big win con for Bladle. The only reason why I'm making it 2-0 and not more of a disparity is just because of the skill. I think he can pull it, get it a little close.
Right. I'll take this now. I could really see Down bringing back Sword Dance King Gambit here. I like what you said earlier about Rocky Helmet Slowbro. Although I think Belly Jump Alu just overwhelms it overall. I think that it can't really take two hits from it. I mean, Regen isn't going to help it at all. Great Tusk has a hard time with the Terra Flying on Down's team. But I do think she has to over-rely on Iron Bundle. She has to land those Hydro Pumps. And me knowing Bladle, he is going to bring the Bright Powder. So expect Bright Powder, expect screens on Bronzong. Kilowattrel's going to do work here. He could also bring Blissey to hardwall the Iron Bundle. I could see Down seeing that and bringing the Flip Turn because she does have the Flip Turn option. I don't know. Maybe she brings Oricorio with fucking Quiver Dance or whatever the hell it gets. Who knows? I do know that Bladle likes his work a lot and bringing it every week, so expect that. And maybe Kilowattrel, like Woozy said earlier. Kilowattrel could also do work here, although if what Air Chomp said is true, that if King Gambit brings the AV, then it's on any move, really. And if he lands the Hurricanes, that's if he lands them. But I have Bladle winning this 1-0 versus Queen matchup. And I personally think this is the best matchup this whole week, and I'm excited to watch. What do you think, Luke?
I have it actually pretty damn similar to you, Manny. So the thing I like what you said, you mentioned Blissey. So I think Blissey's coming here. Iron Bundle is an absolute menace, but that's pretty much a guaranteed lock that we're going to see Blissey. So we've seen in the past before Trick Blissey. I think even Dress Down, I think she was the one that used this, so she's definitely familiar. But I think Bladle is going to use Trick with an item that's going to slow down whatever comes in. So Lagging Tail, I think, would be the perfect example of this. So even if it doesn't catch Iron Bundle, whatever comes in is just going to be so hampered, similar to when T-Wave was even better than what it is now. Kilowattrel, you guys touched on as well. A lot of value, especially week 1 against You Lose. I liked that set. I liked Specs just punching with sheer force pretty much. Azumarill, I agree. Belly Drum, Citrus. Bronzong needs to come here, has great typing, good ability with Levitate as well. But I think it really needs investment into special defense for this matchup. And you pair it with another defensive anchor. So Arcanine with defensive investment and Intimidate will come. Haxorus is going to be that physical attacker with Dragon Dance to round out the roster. And then I see this as a super close game. Iron Bundle has a great matchup here. I'm on the fence of whether or not it probably comes here Specs. I was thinking Booster Energy, but you guys brought up a great point. Will Flip Turn. King Gambit. I think Swords Dance can play, especially if she goes into the Terra Flying. I have it coming in with an Assault Fest, though. So with its ability, it's already going to be plenty enough strong, especially if she saves it for late game. Garganackle, I have the regular meta set coming with Iron Press. The Iron Press set. This is also another potential Terra Flying user. Similar to what Air Chomp said, Slowbro with Rocky Helmet is a no-brainer for the Azumarill. Now, we've seen great value from her in the past with Zarina, and I think it comes with heavy-duty boots and rapid spin. I just don't know what attacking moves are going to come for this matchup specifically, because Bladle has a very sound defensive core. So Zarina needs to come to keep the field clean. Dress Down's played it pretty well so far. And then to round out the roster, I like Staraptor a lot, not necessarily in this matchup, but I think it's coming. I'm going to say Scarf for now. Could also become Banded, but I'm a choice freak. Dress Down would be the first to tell me that. All in all, though, I think this is really... I think the Blissey trick is going to decide the game. So if it gets a nice catch, I think Bladle wins. I think it will, though. I think it's going to matter. Because even if it doesn't get the Iron Bundle, it's going to mess up Dress Down's game plan. So with that said, I have Bladle winning 1-0. Perhaps this was the game of the week, but I couldn't put it over the 1 versus the 2 seed. That would just be like sacrilegious for the ratings and for Little Thomas's entry to the competitive scene. So, anybody have anything else on this one?
I think if the Blissey catches King Gambit on a switch, because of that lagging tail, like you mentioned, I think you kind of sucker punch odds there.
Yeah,
I think she's kind of forced into sucker punch after that. If she does get indeed tricked into the lagging tail,
right?
I mean, on a switch and on a Blissey and kind of just set up in his face, like fine, but it's also like you got to keep that in mind. Like, Bladle's also creative, and he can make your prep upside down.
Speaking of experience, Bladle's ultra creative. Like he'll blow your mind with fucking prep. Like.
Yeah.
He's like no other, so I'm really looking forward to this matchup.
Alrighty. We'll see it this weekend.
Second, I will miss the interaction I have with our fans over these 3 days. It's a draft tradition and one that I genuinely enjoy. Let's hear from you right now. Oh, come on, guys. You can do better than that. Let's go. Oh, straight in. Come on, let's go. Come on, you guys can do better than that. All right, keep it coming. Wow, even the virtual boos are good. Yes, I can hear you from my basement, so keep it coming.
All right, so we're here. Last matchup. 1 seed versus 2 seed. Seed versus Lil Thomas. Okay. Lil Thomas has Terra Steel. I have Terra Fighting. I think that's more than enough for me to say that I have the advantage. I'm not gonna give things away, obviously. I want to have a good matchup. I like his team a lot. I think Kodenko plus Dondozo is annoying. Murkrow is always an option, right? Like he has the Franks. Rotomo plays really good against his team. I'm just gonna say it straight up against my team. I was running some few scrims with Woozy. Really good bring. With Trick. Go ahead, bring that. Go ahead. Guja, I think you must bring Guja, right? Like I have, I have the potential to bring fucking Choice Specs, Moonblast. You need to bring Guja, right? Mimikyu's fucking annoying to deal with. I'm just gonna say I see him bringing Scarf Hydreigon. I think he needs to bring Starfrox with the bottom be annoying. If you're not annoying, I'm gonna beat you. You need to be, you have to out dance battle me, like Lou says, right? Yeah, just be annoying. Get the most fucking prep you can with fucking Dawn as you can. But, I'm not gonna give anything away. Let's have a good match, right? That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking at the matchup, and the more I look at it, the more I think that Lil Thomas has the matchup outside of the Terra type. Dondozo pretty much hardballs everything on this team outside of the 2 special users, which is Glamour and Iron Jugulis. I don't count Iron Valiant. That thing's ridiculous. And I think you need to come up with cheese to get rid of that. But outside of that, Dondozo puts in a lot of work. I agree. The Gujar, Saul Vest, pretty much walls the Glamour and the Iron Jugulis. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing Iron Jugulis versus Hydreigon, which is actually hilarious. We'll see if the Hydreigon versus the Imposter is going to win who. But yeah, I see Iron Valiant sweeping this team. With that all said, if he gets a lot of chip on the wall, see, that's probably the most important thing. If you don't get the chip on the walls, it's going to be very, very hard. But I think you get Dondozo down to like 70%. I know Iron Valiant gets Thunderbolt, obviously Moonblast. Doesn't want to take that.
It also
Guja
gets Grass
also gets Grass. Yeah, but I don't really see why you'd bring Grass Knot here.
for the Dondozo.
Yeah, but T-Bolt works perfectly fine, or Moonblast, to be honest.
Yeah,
Either way.
That's what he's trying to say.
Wait, what?
He doesn't want to switch in on a Grass Knot, is what I'm saying.
He doesn't want to switch on a T-Bolt either. Either way, I think Iron Valiant's probably going to be too much for this matchup. I have Manny winning 3-0. If you pull some cheese and you kill that Iron Valiant early, I think you can run away with this one. But I don't see how.
All right, who's taking next?
So, kind of to your point, Air Chomp, kind of everyone's point so far, I think Dondozo is kind of like visually one of like the mons that can give Manny the hardest time. It can set up on you. It can apply pressure constantly. None of the mons want to come in on a wave crash after a curse. So it kind of limits any mons that want to set up on it. But looking at the rosters, Tauros being Little Timmy's fastest mon isn't favorable. It's a defensive mon, but looking at tiers, Manny has a great advantage on that. And Valiant's gonna be Valiant. Valiant's gonna have a game no matter how you see it. Kind of to your point, Chomp, where if you can get Valiant out the way early, I think that does a lot. However, you know, particular with how he plays and whatnot. So I don't see Valiant going out early like that. I think Hazards are going to play a huge game on both teams. He gets rocks out. It can him a lot coming in, switching in, and vice versa. If you have spikes out or T spikes from Glamora, you're putting a lot of one in Oko range with Valiant. So I think Hazards are going to be able to see who kind of wins that matchup. And then that's a lot of the mons are set up. Depend on trying to set up and trying to get going. I think the have a fantastic game this week and a fantastic matchup and kind of hindering those setup mons and still applying like that pressure. So I winning 3-0, keeping his momentum, leading the league as number 1.
Okay, I think we're all on the same page here. So early on, turn 1 is going to have huge implications for how this game goes. But it's kind of already molded in Manny's favor. So if you look at that Glamora, just as Woozy was saying. But the reason why that Glamora is so important is that Lil Thomas has no poison type to switch in and remove those toxic spikes. Glamora can come with the suicide lead. Doesn't have to, but that's like our most likely option, especially if it's going to come in turn 1. I've got some crafty sets though. So,
dude, before you go in, I'm gonna counter you really quickly. All he has to do is put an air balloon on the Goldango, and that hard walls Glamora.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I can't earth power enough for that.
Could.
At all.
But the thing is, all right, so if you do air balloon the Goldango, as Woozy was saying, there's no speed on that team.
Nope.
So he goes into, all right, let's play this out. So he goes into air balloon. What is he doing? Is he gonna go into make it rain? Like what?
You're making it rain.
What is he typing out? So you can see it's air balloon. Right away, you know what set it's running. The mon that I have Manny bringing is Iron Jugulus. Iron Jugulus without air balloon, it's coming in and it's in Oko range. Iron Jugulus I have coming with booster energy for special attack. It's more than likely if it switches in that scenario, it's gonna click like Dark Pulse. Goldango is gonna switch out to something. Whatever comes in is still gonna be slower than Iron Jugulus, and it's gonna have good coverage to follow up. You already know that Goldango at that point is air balloon. I don't think that the selling point of Goldango is to dodge earth coverage. I mean,
yeah, it's earth and poison, plus the fact that you get rid of the option to get rid of T-spikes. Like, to play out your scenario, I just calced it. Make It Rain does like 72 to 85 the Iron Jugulus off rip, and all he has to do is switch in Gudra, who is like notoriously the special defense monster.
That's true.
It's
and I have a good Gudra set coming. So all in all here, I have Glamora coming with the suicide lead. Now, I think it's crucial for Manny to control tempo, and I think he's going to do it. So in addition to Iron Jugulus, booster energy, special attack, Skeledirge is going to force a Dondozo switch. And the Skeledirge set I have coming is Modest Power Herb, Solar Beam. Now, without any setup, I know, it's pretty crazy. Without anything.
Don't remind me about Solar Beam.
Yo, Woozy, note that down right quick.
Write that down, Woozy. Chop, chop. It's not an Oko unless the Dondozo has no HP investment, which it's going to have some HP investment. I would hope so. But it's still going to be able to clean up with a Shadow Ball the next turn. So it's in 2-hit range. The Dondozo is not going to be able to Oko it. They're both unaware Mons. In addition, Little Thomas has been very reliant on his Hippo early. Orthworm just hard walls it and allows it to set up. Now, another Mon I have coming is Weavile. Now, I think when Weavile enters the field, Little Thomas is going to look to go into his Tauros. So because of that, I have Weavile coming with Eject Pack, which is going to basically let Manny control tempo. And Iron Valiant with booster energy speed, along with like an insane coverage pool, this game's gonna be over relatively quick. It's gonna be like a chess game, but it's crucial. Every turn from like turn 1 to 10 is gonna have massive like ramifications. But when I look at Thomas's team, it's just kind of limited. The biggest thing is that it just doesn't have speed. So because of that, I have Goldango coming with a Scarf. Dondozo is played best when it comes with max defense, curse. But to me, like, it could be played around, and the fact that Manny has an unaware Mon is huge, especially if he runs the set I recommended. Doesn't need to, but Skeledirge, even other than Solar Beam, it also has Seed Bomb, which is weird. A weird coverage type for a fire starter. You brought up Goodra earlier. Now, normally it has Sap Sipper. I like Gooey in this matchup, along with max defense. So most people put special defense investment, but it has an insane 150 special defense already, so it doesn't really need help in that department. I think it should just plus up its defense. Mimikyu is a great Mon with Disguise. And I don't think Thomas is going to do this, but he could get maximum value out of Mimikyu if he brings T-Wave to cripple and then Drain Punch just to keep it healthy, along with Swords Dance. Hydreigon is probably his best answer to Iron Valiant if it doesn't come with booster energy speed, which you're going to know pretty quick. So you don't go into this option unless you see it's not booster energy, but he's going to bring Scarf Hydreigon, and it needs to have Flash Cannon. You don't go to this option to counter Iron Valiant if you see that it's like as soon as you see booster energy speed, this is off the table. But if it's not, this is an answer to Iron Valiant. So Scarf Flash Cannon is going to put it in Oko range. And then lastly, he's been very reliant on Hippo max defense. So that's coming this week. To me, though, it's just like we're at a point where, similar to like Braves, this is like a make or break week for Davichi. To me, it's not. He's going to make the playoffs regardless. But this is like make or break to see if he's actually a contender. I just think the odds are stacked against him. Manny has the best rounded roster. There would need to be like a critical hit or something would miss. Something like would need to go so massively in Little Thomas's favor for him to win this game. So all in all, I have Manny going coast to coast, controlling tempo, and winning 2-0. Anybody else have any closing thoughts?
I think to your point, Lou, circling back to what Air Chomp mentioned about the air balloon, I think for Goldango to be effective in this matchup, he needs a Scarf. Desperately needs a Scarf.
An air balloon would be a too massive.
I think air balloon is a bad idea.
It's too easy to play around.
I get where Air Chomp is going with the air balloon, but like matchup specifically, you just lose so much productivity from Goldango without the Scarf. I mean, feed it to the wolves because everything's just outspeeding Goldango.
And the biggest thing with air balloon is like, it's all right, I'm here. Here's my balloon. You know, it's not like you use earthquake and it doesn't work. It's already pre-announced to the world. Air balloon is here. So in a game that I think every turn really matters, you need that element of surprise that a scarf is going to provide.
Yeah, that's like when they don't know that you have the air balloon and you're switching it on an earthquake, but
right
outside of that, like seeing a slow Goldango, I'm kind of like hoping it doesn't get killed before it hits something.
Now, do you guys think that there's any chance he brings Murkrow here?
I think part of our win con for little Timmy is hindering Alien as early as he can.
I could see him bringing like Prankster T-Wave or something. Prankster Tailwind, for example,
yeah.
right? He uses Tailwind. That could come into play.
His Tailwind opportunities aren't going to be too wide. I mean, I love the move Tailwind is just insane. It doesn't last long enough. And I wish that there was a way to extend Tailwind. But it's going to be a good one. The audience, give us that feedback. You guys really liked the video last week's already at almost 90 views, and it's unlisted. So I guess everybody in the league was watching it like 5 times over. But let us know how you guys like the Super Show format. That's going to be big, whether or not I'm going to make power rankings. But we had Woozy and Manny's like game of the week format added in there. I still don't know why you guys threw a bone to was Sandy's game in there? The honorable mention?
Honorable.
Bro, there was nothing honorable about that. He just straight up fucking didn't click Jet Punch. Like, that was a pretty like dishonorable way to lose.
Give more credit to Stein, Terra.
Yeah, I think the credit was only to Stein with the Terra.
No credit for me.
Right.
That at the end literally won him the game, so it was a good tag on his part.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I would like to have Sam back as like a permanent co-host along with me and you lose, but I don't know, he's been like kind of flakish, like just chilling in bed, like looking at us for a couple of minutes with his toothbrush there, or like on the toilet, like off camera. Like, the guy's just crazy. So
like footsies.
Yeah.
With himself.
Right. So we're going to keep on trying to increase the level of our content. He's going to increase his like level of clownishness. You know, different circus, same clown. We're rolling. We're wooing. Right? We're wooing our way out of this video. See you guys next week for week 4. And that's a wrap. Later.
I stay to myself cause I never like these hoes. If she only like the guap red like these hoes, why would I waste my time on a shorty that don't got me on the front of her mind? Especially when you get designed and I want it done. And the building came with the wings like a number 9. Yeah, come through, just us two. I like it cause you cut how I'm cut too. Come through, just us two. I like it cause you cut how I'm cut too. Hey, she wanna fuck with the woo. 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 That's my kind of bitch. She be saying some shit like when you gon' fly me in private so I can land on that dick. She said tricks for kids, she don't fall for the tricks. She can handle her own, she just wants some dick. Got that big Birkin bag worth 5-6 figures. You might be out your league, can you buy that nigga? I pull up on the top, going on the dawn, I'm the dawn. You can fuck around if you want, out in Bali. Big swing, big dress, big ass, make it squirt and make a big mess. Before we done, she asks what we gonna do it next. Next, so what it fucked up the seats in the jet. She like all that gangsta shit. Top down, riding around with the blick. Who you with? Whoa. She like all that gangsta shit. I said she like all that gangsta shit. She wanna fuck with the woo.
Let me take you to the candy shop. Show you all I got. I put diamonds on your chain to match your diamond ring. I'm on that two nigga whoop. Hate all the love, it's me and you. Let's turn her into something. She love who niggas. Them niggas who gon' pull triggers. I was fine when I met you. Then I sex you. Then I left you. Cause your pussy feel the same. And I don't got time to waste. She wanna fuck with the
Power rankings. How many people in the top 8 were in that other division?
Dress down, me, Copy, Bladle.
On.
Don.
Oh yeah, Don. 5.